This is a disaster. This is an actual disaster. Let me do this, update my math, show that to you, and then the second half of this video is going to be a rant, because holy crap, I cannot believe I was stupid enough to be optimistic about how this would be implemented. This is a disaster. So the Soulstone Shards system went live today on the Forerunner server, and as you can see behind me, I am coming to you from a Forerunner account, thank you to Behemoth, that has max chest farmed the top 3 difficulties, Nightmare 3, Nightmare 4, and Abyss 1, and his guild has killed all 3 of these drakes. So we are going to get 2 chests for each one of these drops, and the Soulstone Shard rewards are now here. You can see from Nightmare 3 with the top chest, you are getting 1 to 2 Soulstone Shards. From Nightmare 4, from the top chest, you're getting 1 to 3 Soulstone Shards. And then finally, from the top chest in Abyss, you are getting 2 to 4 Soulstone Shards. So now you might be wondering, how many shards do you need? The good news is we get guaranteed Soulstone Shard drops from every single one of these chests. We've maxed 3 difficulties. We're getting double chests from each. So we are getting 6 chests. So 6 opportunities to get Soulstone Shards. And those opportunities are guaranteed opportunities. We just have to see how many we get. But the big thing, and honestly, the disaster is, guess how many shards, if you haven't seen it already. Write it in the comments before I tell you.
Fastidious.
Did you guess 1,200 shards?
What?
1,200 shards. 1,200 shards. 1,200 shards. Outside of artifact shard events and hero shard events, the most we ever needed in terms of shards to craft something outside of those special fusion events is 30. So if you can't do the math quickly, I'll tell you right now, 1,200 is 40 times more than 30. That's crazy. I did all the math for you in a spreadsheet I'm going to show in a second, but I did want to give the shout out to Behemoth right before we open his chests. I've heard almost always the drops are the low ones. So let's actually start with some good news. You can get these shards from any chest that currently drops a Soulstone, which is pretty powerful. So if we start at Nightmare 3, yes, of course, from the top chest, you can get shards. But actually, I didn't even know this. From Reward 4, from the second highest chest, you have an opportunity to get unpolished and polished Soulstones. So now you can get Soulstone Shards from there. So you can immediately start your Soulstone Shard farm as soon as you're getting at least the second highest chest in Nightmare 3. In Nightmare 4, you actually can get the shards and the normal full Soulstones all the way down, I think, except for the lowest difficulty. Yeah, even Reward 2 you can. It's only Reward 1 where you're not able to get Soulstones or their shards. And finally, in Abyss, you can get it at all levels. You see the quantities are a bit different at the lower levels, but all in all, that is a good system, and that is pretty cool. However, the early returns, the early feedback from Forerunner that I've heard is they're always the lower number. So like I said, I prepared a spreadsheet here. We are going to talk about the potential drops from chests, then 2 chest drops, so just multiplying those by 2, then all these different farming scenarios. You're farming Nightmare 3 and Nightmare 4, you're farming Nightmare 4 and Abyss 1, you're farming all 3, your best case you could get per day and how many days it would take, your worst case and how many days it would take. I think all my math is right here. You guys can let me know if you think I missed anything. But before we do all that, let's actually open it up and confirm that we do get shards from every single chest opening. So thank you very much, Chris. Thank you, Behemoth. Let's see. Here's chest number 1. Nothing. Maybe they do it at the end since it's a strictly additional drop. That actually would make sense. No. Wow. So it's per opening. It is not per chest, because that is so bad. This is a disaster. This is an actual disaster. Let me do this, update my math, show that to you, and then the second half of this video is going to be a rant, because holy crap, I cannot believe I was stupid enough to be optimistic about how this would be implemented. This is a disaster. Okay, so 1 to 2, and it's not per chest, it's per difficulty. So you're guaranteed a drop, but it's per difficulty, and of course we hit the 1. So very likely we're about to hit 4 shards. All right, Nightmare 4, let's see. Here are his normal drops. Let's confirm that it's guaranteed at the end. It is, and 1. Once again, we low rolled once again. This was 1 to 3 this time. So we've done 2 difficulties for 2 shards. We are 1/600th of the way there. I'm grossed out. Abyss. He gets max chest and Abyss. There's your mythic chest. 4 drops. 2.
Emotional damage.
Low roll again. It's 2 to 4. So 4 shards. All right. I need to update all of this math because I was under the impression that you were getting shards per chest, not per difficulty. So give me 1 second. Then I'll take you through it very quickly, and then we're going to rant. I am offended. Give me 1 moment. All right, there you go. So you can see I crossed this out with these slashes. They're kind of faint. I made this red. This is no longer a thing, so let's actually just make this black. Bye-bye. What a joke. So shard drops are completely tied to the difficulty. So I guess the good news is even if you're not getting double chests because your guild isn't downing the dragon, you will get the max shard drop since it's per difficulty, not per chest. I've got a best case scenario here and a worst case scenario. I guess we'll lead with best. I was trying to be optimistic before. I'm no longer optimistic. This is insane. So shard drops from Nightmare 3 top chest is 1 to 2. Nightmare 4 is 1 to 3. Abyss 1 is 2 to 4. So these are your 3 different farming scenarios. So if you're farming Nightmare 3 and Nightmare 4 and you get the best case scenario every day, which obviously is impossible, that would be 5 shards a day, and it would take you 240 days to get a Soulstone. So it's simply 1,200 divided by 5, right? You can see that math there. If you are getting the best case scenario, and this is the best case scenario. So the best case scenario is 8 months. If you hit the best case scenario every single day, which is impossible. So if you're only max farming Nightmare 3 and Nightmare 4, you're going to get 1 Soulstone a year probably, maybe even a little bit less. Because it's not going to be the best case scenario. We might start tracking this, but hopefully they fix this before it goes live on global and we don't even have to track it. Nightmare 4 and Abyss 1. You are an insanely good account. You're not spending the diamonds every day for a 3rd chest, or for a 3rd difficulty, I should say, but you are getting max chests on this and you're getting the best case scenario every day. That is 7 a day. So this is like you're doing the 2 highest difficulties of the two highest chests within the 2 highest difficulties in all of Guild Boss 1, and somehow every day you get the absolute maximum drops of the 3 roll and the 4 roll, and still you're only going to get 1 Soulstone about every half a year. So in that best case scenario, which is impossible, mind you, it'd be almost 1 every 180 days or 6 months. It'd be like 5 2/3 months. Finally, if you do all 3 chests and you get the high roll every day, which again is impossible, you'll get 9 shards a day, right? We're just adding up these top things, 2 + 3 + 4, that's 9. And you'll get it done in 133 days. So it will still take you over 4 months per Soulstone, and you'll get less than 3 a year. It will take you just over a year to get 3, about a year. And let's actually do this math. So let's do this times 3, and let's do this divided by 30. It'll take you a year and a month and a third. It'll take you about a year and 40 days or so. A year and 35 days. Man. That's how long it will take you to get 3 Soulstones. If you're getting the best case scenario every day, which again is impossible, that will never happen for anyone in the history of playing this game, and you're getting the max chest on everything. Let's talk about the worst case scenarios. So you're still getting max chest on everything, but you're low rolling every day. This obviously won't happen either. It's going to be somewhere between these 2 numbers. But worst case every day, you're only getting 2 shards a day from Nightmare 3 and Nightmare 4. That will take you 600 days. Over a year and a half. This is a farce. If you do Nightmare 4 and Abyss 1, it's going to take you 400 days, so just over a year, a nice chunk over a year. To get, that's unbelievable. I mean, over a year to get 1 extra Soulstone. And these are all unpolished. None of these are polished. And then finally, if you're doing all 3 difficulties, it will take you just under a year. Realistically, we'd expect probably if you're doing Nightmare 3 and Nightmare 4, it's going to fall in between it. Of course, it's going to be more towards the worst case because clearly these are not weighted evenly. Maybe it's going to take you 400 days or something, 450 days per Soulstone, so less than a year, but not that much less. If you're doing this over here, it's going to probably take you somewhere like maybe 300 days. So we're talking 10 months. This is probably going to take you, actually, if we do this math, this is probably going to actually take you well over a year. Now that I'm actually looking at it now, this is probably going to take you a year and a few months. This will take you about 10 months, I would guess. It'll be about 300 days. If we look here, this is probably going to be about 8 months, maybe 240 days. This system is a joke, and I wish they just didn't do it. I'd rather have one less Soulstone than be insulted in this capacity. So as you might be able to tell by my tone, we're moving into the rant portion of this video. This is so absolutely pathetically ridiculous. This is the most tone-deaf pile of bullshit I have seen in this game, and they've given us a lot of tone-deaf piles of bullshit to get through. Moonton, I really do like and respect a lot of what you do, but when you do something like this, it just shows laziness or a complete lack of awareness, or maybe both. Like, ask ChatGPT and say, hey, people are only getting 0 to 1 Soulstone a year right now, maybe 2. And they've been complaining, saying they need many, many more. We've created a system where every new character needs multiple awakenings, which can really only be achieved on certain characters through Soulstones. How many more do you think we need to give players a year to make them happy? We were thinking of giving them 1 every 15 months. Does that sound good? Will that make them happy? And ChatGPT or any person who doesn't even know the game with a brain would say, no, they'll be offended by that. And here we are, offended by that. If I'm off base, let me know, but I think this is completely beyond the pale. This is so unacceptable. Like, this is not a fix. This is... I don't care about your solemn pledges. Like, you tanked the rates on Soulstones almost a year ago. And then you tanked them again the first half of this year. You tanked them in 2024 after Q1 or so. And then you completely tanked them again when Abyss 1 came. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows it. There's no discussion to be had. You completely nerfed the rates. And now you add this new change, and you're saying we solemnly pledge that the original drop rates for Unpolished Legendary Soulstones and Legendary Hero Soulstone will not be reduced. This is just a bonus. So this is a tiny bonus that players will get every 8 months to 2 years, something like 8 months to a year and a half. And then we're supposed to take everything else they say at face value. So they've already nerfed the crap out of these rates twice. They're saying they won't do it again. Fine. They give this as a tiny little bone while giving no extra transparency. And the bone is so small, it might not even get stuck in your teeth. You'll just swallow it whole. I mean, this is pathetic. I don't know. I don't want to complain anymore. This is ridiculous. I mean, okay, let's be positive. The good news is this is not on global server yet. So like Moonton, change this before it goes to global server. But also like they just changed Matrix and it's as bad as it was before. Unplayable content. World rankings, number 1 in the world right now this week, 56K. You need 320K to get max chest. You got 56K total. Not even a fifth of the way there. Use the Forerunner server and use the test server for what they're supposed to be, to run before global launches and to test things before global launches. Before this goes live on the global server, fix it, because people are just going to be insulted. I'm insulted that I had to make this video, that I had to look at this, that I was dumb enough and naive enough and, I don't know, lame enough to make the video I made yesterday. Just do better. Bye.
Fastidious.